I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was hiding documents that have forced them to get documents. I think there's so many fucking powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trials. Wild.
With Ghislaine, with Epstein, with Diddy. Either Diddy's gonna commit suicide, either he's going to be hiding somewhere that we won't hear about for many, many years, or he's gonna be O.J. Simpson, and he'll be released and said, I told you I was as innocent. I told you nothing happened. I told you I was this. Or he's gonna go to jail and spend the rest of his life in jail. Not likely, because he has access to a lot of information on a lot of people that make a lot of money for people in Hollywood. Do they want those people to be gone? I don't know.
The situation surrounding Sean Diddy Combs is unraveling at an alarming pace. With each new day, startling revelations emerge, dragging big names like Cassie Ventura into the spotlight. What started as a simple lawsuit, filed by Cassie, has now exposed something much darker beneath the surface. This is no longer just a case of personal wrongdoing. It's beginning to look like a massive network built on control, manipulation, and secrecy. So much so that people are now drawing parallels to the infamous Epstein saga.
Is not just about sex trafficking, one victim, and it's just about more than sex trafficking. The RICO, feds are accusing him of multiple acts of kidnapping, arson, witness tampering, bribery, forced labor, intent to distribute narcotics, and more.
Diddy's case has been dominating headlines for months, but recently it's taken a much darker and more unsettling turn. The deeper investigators dig, the more it appears that Diddy might not have been acting alone. Whispers are growing louder about a secretive network, similar to the one behind Epstein, possibly operating in the background. Some are beginning to ask, is there a powerful group protecting him from behind the scenes? Will they cover it up or abandon him if he becomes a liability? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the deeper this goes, the more tangled the web becomes. Then came an eerie twist. Patrick Bet David, PBD, pointed out something many believe is more than just coincidence. The lead prosecutor on the case is the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, a man who himself made headlines recently for what some think was a cryptic threat aimed at Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the previous prosecutor, Damian Williams, stepped down without explanation, with quiet murmurs suggesting he was pushed out. The question now is, why? And who benefits from all this? It's becoming clear. This is no longer just about Diddy.
There's way too many things that are coming out right now, especially when you think about the lead prosecutor. It was supposed to be Damian Williams, who he resigns December of 2024. He says, no, I'm not going to be dealing with this case on Epstein. And he's been on the Epstein, on Diddy, and he's been on the lead prosecutor for Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and a lot of other things. And then the person that replaces the lead prosecutor to prosecute Diddy is Maureen Comey. Maureen Comey is the daughter of James Comey. James Comey, just a week ago, posted 8647. He found these beautiful shells, seashells that says 86 accidentally. Of course, he would never do such a thing. And he posts these 8647 shells, and then his daughter is the lead prosecutor for Diddy. And Diddy has all this information to other people.
PBD took things even further, raising a question that's now echoing across social media. Could Diddy's long-standing business relationship with Diageo have been the very shield that protected him all these years? For more than 17 years, he's been accused of serious allegations, yet no major case ever stuck. Why? PBD suggests that maybe it wasn't luck. Maybe it was protection.
Diddy sues Diageo. Diddy filed a lawsuit accusing Diageo of neglecting the De Leon brand, racial discrimination, claiming they marketed it as an urban product and failed to treat him as a true business partner. Then in January 2024, they settled out of court. Diageo and Diego settled the dispute out of court. While details still remain sealed, the settlement marked the end of their business relationship. So this is from 2007 to till 2024. 17 years. Could they have protected him? I don't know. Their CEO currently today is Deborah Ann Crew. She was a former intelligence officer in the military. Once intelligence officer, forever you're an intelligence officer. Who knows what happened? We don't know the relationship. We're not going to make any accusations. All we know is, could this have been a protection?
And once that protection, possibly tied to his high-powered ties with Diageo, vanished after the lawsuit and a quiet settlement, everything began to crumble. Just 2 months after that confidential deal, Diddy's home was raided. The timing is too precise to ignore. Could it be that Diageo was silently safeguarding him all this time, and once that shield was gone, did the powerful forces decide it was finally open season on Diddy?
Where they were at the parties and they knew things that were taking place and are like, wait, what do you want to do to us? No problem. Boom, drop the bomb. I don't know. All I'm saying is the timing is kind of strange. Maybe even they wanted to kind of be like, look, we know what's about to be dropped on this guy. We want to have nothing to do with you. We're out. Here's some money. You stay quiet. We'll pay you, but we want to get out of here. The only thing at the time is kind of crazy is January 2024, they settle. 2 months later, remember what we're sitting there doing and minding our own business? And you hear, March of 2024, the feds are raiding Diddy's Miami home and his LA home. For what?
Even Joe Rogan couldn't ignore what's unfolding. On his podcast, he voiced concerns that echo a growing public sentiment, that there may be powerful forces operating in the shadows, steering the narrative. Rogan drew a disturbing comparison to the Epstein case, reminding his audience how even prosecutors were found to be hiding critical information in order to protect the elite.
I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was hiding, they were hiding documents that have forced them to get documents. I think there's so many fucking powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied.
Rogan hinted that the same kind of cover-up might be happening again. He suggested that Diddy's legendary parties may have been far more than glitzy celebrity gatherings. According to him, there's a very real chance that influential figures regularly attended those events. And now, as the legal heat intensifies, the concern isn't just about Diddy taking the fall, but about who else might be dragged into the spotlight.
Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trials. Wild.
Rogan didn't hold back. He speculated that Diddy could very well end up spending the rest of his life behind bars if the current trajectory continues. But then came a chilling turn. He and his guest warned that this case could mirror the Epstein scandal in more ways than one. Despite the horrific accusations of child trafficking and elite involvement in Epstein's case, justice was never truly served. No major players were brought down. Rogan asked the tough question: will Diddy's case follow the same script? Huge media buzz, explosive allegations, and then complete silence.
Well, Diddy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get
Think he's
hit up.
insane though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's a lot of it is.
But then it's just another
There's-
Epstein.
there's
It's
murder
another
cases.
Ghislaine Maxwell, where
there's
somebody gets
murder
indicted and
cases.
nobody else. Indicted for trafficking kids to
right
no
to,
one.
to no one.
Joe even went a step further, questioning whether Diddy was truly the one calling all the shots. He asked how a single individual could mastermind such an elaborate operation, drugging celebrities, throwing extreme parties, and allegedly orchestrating what some have referred to as freak-offs. Rogan argued that the complexity and scale of the entire setup suggests Diddy didn't do it alone. Maybe he wasn't just the leader. Maybe he was part of something even larger, or possibly being used by someone else.
Crazy. Now, if that's not an intelligence agency operation, it's just an evil super genius who figures out how to compromise everybody by providing this crazy freak-off party. Everybody's got to put their phones away. Okay, we're going to put our phone away. No one's going to know anything. Yeah, I mean, there's going to get cameras everywhere. It's just one guy doing that. What a diabolical human being.
Yeah.
He seems pretty diabolical.
He's probably working with somebody. Or for somebody.
Maybe.
And maybe he just got too far out there.
Some of the came out in the trial, though, like he's forcing his girlfriend to have sex with prostitutes while he was sitting there jacking off with a bandana on. She'd rub the jizz on his nipples. Like, what are we even talking about?
It's possible he wasn't acting alone. Joe Rogan delved even deeper into the shadows, proposing a chilling theory that these wild celebrity parties may have served a much darker purpose. He floated the idea that the chaos wasn't random, it was orchestrated. Picture this. Bring celebrities into an environment where outrageous behavior is normalized. Say things like, even Bill Clinton's been here, ease their resistance, then gradually cross the line with drugs, manipulation, and subtle coercion. Once they're vulnerable, capture it all on camera. According to Rogan, this wasn't just Diddy's personal playground. It may have been a system built to trap, control, and blackmail people for life.
That's a good question. Well, it would be a great way to compromise celebrities. Yeah. And get them to say whatever you want them to do, get them to do whatever projects you'd like them to do. And, you know, if you're a bunch of other celebrities are there, you're like, oh, look, Bill Clinton's here. This is fine. Yeah. This is cool. Look at this. Like, Brad Pitt's here. Well, this is cool. You don't even think there's anything wrong with being there. Meanwhile, you're getting drugged up and filmed. And then they're passing out punch. Have some punch, Aaron. And you have some punch, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm feeling really good. I just feel amazing. You're all mollied up. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Probably a combination of things they give you.
And it's all being filmed.
While numerous celebrities have hinted at a more powerful force operating behind Diddy, the revelations from the trial itself have been harrowing. One particularly shocking moment came when a man, identifying himself as a sex worker, took the witness stand. His testimony stunned the court. He claimed he had been hired multiple times by Sean Diddy Combs, but what he described was far more disturbing than anyone had anticipated. According to him, he was instructed on several occasions to engage in sexual acts with Diddy's then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, while Diddy watched from the shadows.
Also heard from a man who described himself as managing a male review show from 2012 to 2013, says his boss called him to go to a hotel in Manhattan where he met Cassie Ventura at the door. He says she was dressed in a red wig, red lingerie, and essentially gave him $4,000 with the intent that he was going to have sex with her. He also noted that Sean Combs, he said that first encounter was off to the side and watched Cassie Ventura and this male review show manager have sex and masturbated as it was happening.
The witness didn't stop there. He detailed how these encounters weren't brief or isolated. They sometimes stretched for hours, lasting anywhere from 1 hour up to 10. The most unsettling part? He claimed Diddy often recorded the sessions himself, either using a camcorder or his own phone. These weren't private fantasies kept secret. They were intentionally documented. The impact of this revelation shook the courtroom to its core. Even veteran attorneys and judges appeared visibly disturbed.
He talked about several instances where he would have sex with Cassie Ventura and that Sean Combs would be off in the corner watching. He said sometimes these meetings would last anywhere from an hour to 10 hours, and even said that Sean Combs recorded some of this on his cell phone or a camcorder. The beginning of opening statements, though, really focused on what this case is about, according to the prosecution, which is sex trafficking and racketeering, saying that Sean Combs led a criminal enterprise so that he could partake in sexual acts with people based on coercion and bribery, kidnapping, etc.
As the courtroom drama intensified, the case took yet another surprising turn with the sudden mention of two high-profile names, Kid Cudi and Michael B. Jordan. The defense brought them into the spotlight, suggesting that Cassie may have had personal or emotional ties with one, or both of them. They implied this could have sparked jealousy in Diddy, possibly fueling the rage and chaos that allegedly unfolded behind closed doors.
Yesterday, Andy, about other celebrities and if other names were going to be brought into this. Well, yeah, we heard today about Kid Cudi and jealousy issues with Kid Cudi and Cassie being together and hooking up. We heard about Michael B. Jordan and Cassie possibly having a relationship that angered Diddy. So again, there was these themes of distrust and of cheating in the relationship that seemed to go